18-year-old Annie thought she had the perfect life, until the night her parents died in what everyone called a tragic accident. But she knew the truth. Her greedy Aunt Wendy and Uncle Luke didn't just want the family fortune, they wanted her dead too. Imagine this: one moment she's laughing with her parents at dinner, the next she's standing at their funeral, tears freezing on her cheeks. Then comes the real knife twist. Aunt Wendy and Uncle Luke, the people who were supposed to protect her, reveal their true colors. They forged documents, stole the entire Swift family empire, the businesses, the houses, the money, everything. And when Annie dares to fight back, they laugh in her face and literally drag her out into the pouring storm with nothing but the clothes on her back. She's soaked, shivering, screaming into the rain. You killed them, you stole everything. But no one listens. Homeless, heartbroken, completely alone until a sleek black car pulls up. Out steps William Miller, powerful ice cold, her late father's most trusted ally. He's tall, sharp-jawed, eyes like steel. Without a word, he offers his hand and brings her into his massive mansion. The door closes behind them with a heavy click, and just like that, everything shifts. He's not just a protector anymore. He's the only thing standing between her and total destruction. But living under the same roof with this 30-year-old man, that's when the real storm begins. Living with William Miller isn't easy. He's 12 years older, guarded like a fortress, and carries himself with this quiet power that makes the air feel heavy. At first it's all survival. Annie is broken, jumping at every shadow, scared her aunt and uncle will come finish the job. So William starts training her. He turns the mansion basement into a private gym. Shooting ranges, self-defense drills, late-night strategy sessions. He buys back her family's flagship hotel in one brutal corporate takeover. You can almost hear the villains screaming as their empire cracks. He shields her from every dirty trick they throw. Slashed tires, anonymous threats, even hired goons trying to scare her. But the more time they spend together, the harder it gets to ignore the spark. Late dinners where their hands accidentally brush. Lingering stares across the table that last way too long. Annie catches herself watching him work in his study, sleeves rolled up, jaw clenched. William, he keeps pulling away, muttering to himself, "She's my best friend's daughter, I can't." But you can see the crack forming. Then comes the gala night, a spiked drink meant to humiliate her instead sends her straight into his arms. The tension snaps. Bodies too close, breathing heavy, his hand on her waist, and for one dangerous second neither of them wants to stop. That's when you know this forbidden fire is only getting started. Just when Annie starts to feel safe, the floor drops out completely. While searching William's office one sleepless night, she finds a hidden ledger. The truth hits like a truck. Her aunt and uncle didn't just steal the money, they planned and executed her parents' murder in cold blood. But the darkest twist. William knew parts of it. He'd been using Annie as bait this whole time, keeping her close to draw the killers out into the open. Heartbroken, feeling like nothing more than a pawn, Annie storms out into the pouring rain. William follows. She turns on him, tears mixing with rain, screaming at the top of her lungs. "Stop acting like my guardian, I don't care what I'm supposed to call you, I want you." The words hang there. William's control finally shatters. He grabs her with desperate intensity, pulls her close, the uncle mask falling away completely as their lips crash together in the storm. But there's no time to breathe, the villains are closing in harder than ever. They've sent hired thugs to the mansion, determined to finish what they started. Annie and William are now fighting side by side, but the betrayal cuts deep. Can she ever trust him again? Or is this dangerous attraction stronger than the lies? Aunt Wendy thinks she's won. She corners Annie alone in the mansion, gun in hand, gloating about how she murdered Annie's parents and how no one will believe a stupid little girl. But Annie wasn't anyone's pawn, she was always 3 steps ahead. She reveals she's been secretly live-streaming the entire confession to the police and the company board. Sirens wail in the distance as Wendy's face turns to pure panic. William arrives just in time, his power crushing the remaining threats. He destroys their reputations publicly, stocks crash, doors slam shut, the aunt and uncle are dragged away in disgrace. In the wreckage of her old life, Annie stands tall. She looks at William and says, "You wanted to use me. Fine, but from now on I'm the one in charge." And instead of anger, William looks at her with total adoration. He drops to one knee right there, ring in hand, voice low and sincere. From brutal betrayal and heartbreak, to this beautiful, powerful, forbidden happy ending where they become an unstoppable couple. It's satisfying on a whole other level. She didn't just get her money back, she got her soul back, her power, and the man who was never supposed to love her. Man, what a ride. So real talk, after everything Annie went through, would you have fallen for a guardian like William? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments, I read every single one. If this story had you glued to the screen the whole time, smash that like button, subscribe for more addictive short drama recaps, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next wild one.